What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1!
And today we're back to answer more questions in another spine-tingling episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. That is what Justice777 has done. He asks, if an Astarte has genitals and could reproduce, how long would it take for them to become an invasive species? Could they take over the galaxy? That's a really good question because we can theorize of what it would be like if, they could reproduce. Mm-hmm. They can't right now.
No.
Part of the whole process of becoming a space marine means that, you become infertile, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And the whole thing for that is because space marines, they only have one task, one motive, and that is to purge and push the agenda of the Emperor.
Yes.
So there's no time to be, laying the rod left and right.
Mm-hmm. But even if, let's say, there was because they're warrior monks. So, let's say if there was a warrior society, they created, a kind of like a religion around their whole, warrior mentality. I think they wouldn't treat the women all that great. I don't think we would have space marine women fighting alongside, space marine men. I think it would be more of, they would be a subservient class to these powerful demigods kind of thing, or maybe not, because could a woman give birth to an Astarte child, a baby? So I guess it could go either way, right?
Yeah, I could see it go either way. They revere women for their ability to create and continue the creed and the monastic traditions.
Yeah, because I saw it kind of there's that UFC fighter that's a really good wrestler, and he was undefeated. He beat McGregor. What's his name? He's Russian, but not really. That guy.
Yeah.
So their whole thing is the women do the women thing, and then the men do the manly thing. So at first I thought that's what it would be like. But yeah, actually venerating them would be it would also make sense. And having them be space marine women would make sense too, because they need bigger, stronger bodies to give birth to bigger, stronger babies.
Right.
But then moving from that, I think the fact that they can focus solely on war and fighting, and they live and die for the Emperor. If you take that away by including families and letting them reproduce, then all of a sudden you have chapter masters who want their sons to take over. And then it becomes more of a Game of Thrones kind of thing where it's the lineage that's trying to...
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of the Spartans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they're still, warriors, but they still, have a family, and they gotta keep the like you said, the lineage going.
Yeah, and they had kings for Spartans and stuff like that, so it would be the chapter master, the political fighting amongst the different chapters too.
Yeah.
Just because that's usually what ends up happening with families. But also I wonder if they would just try to outright destroy the Imperium, take over the High Lords and say, no, we rule humanity now. Or if they would do the Spartans, where the Spartans, it was they were the warrior class, and then there was a slave class. So regular humans would become slaves, and then the Astartes would be the real humanity, or the real Imperium. So that would be really interesting.
Yeah. The other thing too is what if they were all driven by Slanesh? So it wasn't just their logic, but they're literally just going out there and just being an invasive species, getting it on with whatever species can reproduce with them, so that they can bolster their ranks, bolster their numbers, and eventually take over the galaxy.
Yeah. It was all a Slaneshi scheme and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be really cool. I think we could just theorize all day about this.
Yeah, easily.
Because there's a lot of cool little ways you can twist it. Because now I'm thinking of I think the Sons of Dorn. It was a fan-made chapter that kind of had a similar there's lineages that followed in, or there were certain families that fed children to the Space Marines to become battle brothers, and then there's lineages within there. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys would like to see if Space Marines could have children.
And speaking of Space Marines having familial urges, Justice777 says, how many abs did the Emperor have in his prime?
He had the 12-pack.
Yeah. And even more in his back.
Yeah. He had that Christmas tree action.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from David Graham. How do you think the other Primarchs would take the creation of the Primaris? Would they agree with Gilliman to see them as betraying the Emperor's vision? I think they would agree with Gilliman, because it really wasn't Gilliman who created them. Gilliman was just like, oh, you have these? Let's use them.
Bust them out.
Yeah. And also, Primarchs viewed their children, for the most part, as also tools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, they're dying, so like there's not gonna be that like super strong affection like a son has to or like a father has to a son.
Yeah, but at the same time, certain ones did like their legion more.
Yeah.
Others hated them, like Conrad Kurz.
Yep.
He wanted to do nothing with his prisoner convict space marines.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why a lot of people feel like, oh, there has to be like people in the Imperium that don't like the Primaris Marines, like especially like the Firstborn and stuff like that. And I think it's because we don't really like the Primaris. Like we had Firstborn Marines, we were playing fine, and then GW is like, buy this whole new army. We know you've been collecting your entire life, but guess what? Those old Space Marines are not good anymore. And then you have to buy new Primaris.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's a chip on all of our shoulders
Yeah.
of hate for the Primaris.
Right. And I feel like even if certain Primarchs aren't Codex compliant, they'll probably still take them in.
Oh, yeah. They need the reinforcements.
Yep.
This question comes from Jamie Garth. Are prostitutes the best way to fix a broken heart? It helps, yeah. Strip clubs, and massage parlors.
But how long is that void actually filled before it starts to decay and crack and ooze all over your body?
Oh, you should. At that point, you should just probably get a therapist / dancer. So she like does her thing while she's dancing. I wonder if that's a thing.
I don't know. It seems like it'll be something. The Outsider says, in your honest and humble opinions, which Space Marine chapter has the most badass armor?
The Black Dragons.
I mean, it's just black armor.
Yeah, but they got like spikes coming out of their forearms.
That's not part of their armor. That's their physiology.
No, in the fan art, they do have like a little like rays, like.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like Assassin's Creed, where like it goes. Is it Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, the hidden blade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always liked the Thousand Suns armor.
Yeah.
Like it's very intricate and like depending on the era, like very Egyptian.
Yeah. Really like it. Rubric Marines are like awesome Terminator looking dudes.
Yes.
Next question comes from Juan Jose Mendivil. Please answer. This is urgent. Oh shit.
6 days ago? Oh, well, probably 7 now.
Yeah. Why does hot dogs made in Mexico taste better? That's true. Mm-hmm. And why can't my home cooked hot dogs taste just as good? So something that's really peculiar about the U.S. in comparison to a lot of other countries is that the food tastes artificial here. And what I mean is like, you know how like when you get a freshly squeezed orange juice and then you taste it because straight from like the oranges, it's delicious. And then you get like the Sunny
D,
and there's like it like hits your tongue a little bit different. It's almost like bittery sweet. It's kind of weird. It doesn't feel like it feels like a drink, like an energy drink, not an orange squeezed. And that's the same for pretty much all food, including hot dogs, surprisingly, because hot dogs isn't just a bunch of trash meat anyways.
Yeah.
It tastes better. Food tastes better in Mexico. It's tasted better in Poland. It's tasted better in Spain. So I've been places and food tastes better outside than here in the U.S. It is what it is.
Maybe it's the preservatives or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. That was urgent.
Damned Legion says, what are the medical systems like in 40K for each race? Well, for the Necrons, it's kind of like the Scarabs and the Canoptic Spiders. And they're not really like they like help repair and fix things.
They're more like janitors. Than
Yeah,
actual
honestly. Nano scarabs because their dermis is like self-repairing.
Yeah, so like there's no need, or there is, but there isn't kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then the Eldar, they have the Bone Singer dudes, right?
Mm-hmm. But that's mostly for like wraith constructs.
What is the Eldar medic then? Because now that I think about it.
I don't think they have like a dedicated like apothecary.
Yeah. Huh. Dark Eldar, the homunculi kind of, right?
Yeah, they're more like mad scientists, but they still like tinker with like the body and stuff like that.
The Imperial Guard actually have a medic, right?
Yeah.
And then what else?
The sisters, they have their own
Hospitallers.
hospitallers. Obviously, the apothecaries for Space Marines. In a way, Tech Marines, kind of, depending on like if you're Iron Hands and stuff like that.
Yeah. Tau have the Earthcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how the Earthcast is just like, it fulfills every single like.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all of them, right?
Pretty much. Tyranids?
Oh, they don't have a medic.
No, it's the goop pools.
Yep.
If you're hurt, just
Die.
just D yourself off. Wait, you said die, so I think we're further into the video where we can say these words.
Yeah. YouTube isn't gonna hit us with the, what is it called? A strike.
You're out.
This next question comes from Mr. One Batman. Henry Cavill Custodes versus Gersh One Orc. Who would win? He doesn't play, so it doesn't matter.
I was waiting for that.
He only collects, he said.
I think orcs are better than Custodes right now.
Really?
Yeah, I still think so. Like, their regular boy toughness is too much. The orc on the Squigosaur war boss is probably the best model in the game.
Damn, I need to we need to play.
Before everything gets nerfed.
Yeah. This next question comes from Brian B. Is there anything going on with Exodites?
See, that's the thing. Like, with everything that we're seeing from the Eldar releases, it's like, oh, new Aspect Warriors, new sculpt for the Striking Scorpions, new sculpt for, like, the Avatars, but we don't see anything on the Exodites.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's coming at a later date? I don't know.
Hopefully.
Zanir says, if the Imperium falls due to a catastrophic defeat, do you think they might consider allying with Xenos?
Who?
Like if the Imperium is like on the brink of losing.
Yeah, because it's happened before.
I
with
mean,
the Tyranids.
Yeah.
With the Blackstone Fortress.
Yep, with the Necrons.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
It happens, but it's usually like we're not going to kill each other now, but once this threat is over, then we'll go back to killing each other.
It's basically like a truce between the Jets and the Sharks from West Side Story.
Yeah.
I watched that.
Recently?
Yeah, I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Maria. This isn't a question, but it is a comment that like we could talk about. Lucas de Arujo Marquez. The grim darkness is starting to get annoying. It's always 5 minutes to midnight. Everything is in the brink of collapse, yet it's all a nothing burger in the end. At least give a slight chance of hope so it can get crushed again.
There has been slight chances of hope.
Yeah.
Gilliman coming back.
Yeah.
The Primaris Marines coming back, or coming anew.
And also, I think like the grimdark aesthetic is not necessarily like
everything's gonna die.
Yeah, it's because like I would consider The Nightmare Before Christmas grimdark, and obviously they're already dead. Like it's supposed to, it's like a mood of like it just makes you feel like, I don't know, it's and it's an aesthetic.
Yeah,
and that I don't think I can get tired of that. I really like the Blanchitsu style for like modeling. I really like the artwork that a lot of the new codex has, or codices have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to each their own.
Yeah, but no, I kind of get what you're saying. Like, if everything's always bleak and like
dying.
It's like it's gonna get old. You have to show the good so you could really experience the bad.
Yeah.
Because eventually, if everything is painted black, and then it's like, oh, here's this other guy, and he's also like the same shade of black, then you won't get to see what big of a threat he is, because everything's so down and dour.
Yeah, like all villains in DBZ.
Basically, yeah. You already said you were the strongest. Well, this is a new arc. I'm the new strongest.
Next question.
Dawa Penhor said, "Can a Nid eat the Emperor?"
Yeah, of course.
Why not? I mean, he's just bone and a little bit of skin, just a little bit.
Yep. I think if the Tyranids somehow invaded Terra, this is like an end of days type of story, and they actually put the Emperor in a vat thing, he would ascend to godhood because his mortal body is dead.
Mm-hmm.
But then also the Tyranid Hive Fleet would probably take all his information from being the best psyker in the entire galaxy and become like a super apex psyker bioship or something.
That'd be scary.
This next question comes from Rafir Ramen. Are you two the two lost Primarchs? Maybe.
Who's asking?
He has a second question. If you were indeed the Primarchs, what would your legions be like? By the way, thank you for engaging with your followers through the Greater Wall sessions. These are awesome. Thanks for watching, man, and thanks for participating.
Yeah.
It's always fun to hear from you guys. So what would your Lost Legion be?
I don't have to think about it because I already have one. I got a whole playlist. Let's check out the Celestial Sun playlist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like themed around like fire, pyromancy, that type of stuff.
Yeah. And there's an entire playlist, and you just get lost because it's a lot of content. So if you guys have like an army to paint, just put that playlist on, and you guys probably have hours, right?
Yeah. At least.
At least. Next question comes from... I have one from Evangelium.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Raven Guard or Alpha Legion who cut your audio halfway into the video? Oh, you noticed that.
Yeah. That means you guys are watching at least 16 minutes in.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird because I put it on I was editing it and everything was fine, and then my audio cuts off, and then like 10 minutes later your audio cuts off.
Mm-hmm.
Or not 10 minutes.
Like a few minutes later, yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like what am I going to do? So I just kept the audio, the one from the camera, which is shit. But yeah.
You think it's going to happen again?
No. It might have been that the recorder died. And when the recorder died, it didn't like record the last bits. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Next question.
This one's by Johnny Blaze, and it's not a question, but it's something that really rustled our jimmies. Johnny Blaze says, "I'm sorry, but Doja Cat ain't shit."
No, you stupid. Doja Cat is amazing. She's so regular. She is what Henry Cavill aspires to be. A normal person that can actually interact with, an audience because they're vibing off of each other. You can't vibe with Henry Cavill. You just can't. If he shows up and he's like, "Oh, I brought my army," I would throw it to the ground and be like, "No, you didn't, because you don't play. You probably bought this on eBay, just for the advertising, with your little what is he in right now?
Currently?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, let's not say it because then there's just advertising.
No, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, no, Doja Cat is.
Guild of Noobs, Lord Dubershift. Which character sports the most elegant mustache in all of 40K?
For the longest time, I thought it was Lehman Russ. But Lehman Russ doesn't have a mustache. Or a beard.
No.
Isn't that crazy?
That is.
Like, my headcanon is like, no, he's a Viking. He has to have a beard.
I would say the Khan.
Yeah.
Either that or probably some, like, random rogue trader that's got, like, those, like, curlies.
Oh, the one from Blackstone Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of those two. I agree. Very sophisticated. Like they probably use beeswax. So. But those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate all the comments. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yes, this has been the Sound Alchemist,
First one.
and we are out.